Hallo huladunya, Fèis Online, Kimada Hashiv and Jew, is Smishad Todd, Hamia Janev Film. I'm going to be teaching filmmaking this year with Fèis Online, so I thought I'd answer a few questions so you can get to know me just a little bit better. Let's go for it. Well, I am from America. I grew up in Southern California, kind of in between LA and San Diego, which is at the bottom of California. It's 10 minutes from the beach, maybe an hour up to LA and Hollywood, another hour and a bit down to San Diego, and you have Mexico right there. There's another couple hours out to the desert, or a couple hours, hour and a half up to the mountains in the winter to go skiing or snowboarding or whatever it was. So it was a brilliant place to be able to grow up. When I was 20, I moved to Hawaii, which is about 3,000 miles off the west coast of California. A small group of islands, some of the most geographically remote islands in the world, though it's part of America. So I lived there for 4 years before coming out to Scotland, and again, beaches, the weather, but more importantly, just the people there were amazing. Really loved it. My first time being a part of Fèis Online was last year in 2019, and I taught filmmaking workshops there and had a great time. Everyone who was a part of it was brilliant. It was great fun. In terms of filmmaking, I'd always made little kind of home movies and silly projects just for fun. It wasn't until I was about 25 that I went back to uni, having been previously a music student. Went back to uni and studied filmmaking. I started then teaching filmmaking and carried on some part-time freelance work, and now I'm doing that full-time. So that's been about 11 years of filmmaking. I'd always wanted to go to Berklee College of Music in Boston. I applied, I got accepted. It was great, but I stayed a bit closer to home for a couple of years before transferring over to Boston because I was on the other side of the country, and continued to play in various jazz bands and percussion ensembles and whatever else. But it was kind of around that time that I think some of my music passion kind of started to shift from purely performance to a bit of recording, and then thinking, oh, maybe, well, I love film as well. I love watching films and I love photography. Maybe what I can do is write some music for films. So I started looking into that and started experimenting with some compositions for film, for the screen. And that shifted into actually just really loving filmmaking and wanting to know how to make films. And that combines photography, music, and video and film and everything as well. So that was kind of my journey. That's what inspired me, is kind of just the love for the impact that I always had while watching films, from the music and the emotion of it to the story and everything. I wanted to be able to do the same thing for other people. Not really met any famous people, or if I have, I've not really remembered it. The one that stands out to me is a few years back. I was actually working on a film project in the west end of Glasgow and ran into Rory from CBeebies. At the time it was My Pet and Me, though now he's done a number of other programs with pets and animals. But at the time, having wee kids and watching lots of CBeebies, I was really excited. So he graciously obliged and let me take a selfie with him to show it to my son, who was probably less excited about it than I was at the time, but it's still good fun. Well, the summer after high school, I joined a drum corps, which is kind of like a semi-professional marching band. You have to pay to do it, so you're not getting paid, but it's just for young people 18 to kind of 21. So there we were, middle of the summer, rehearsing for a performance later that day. It's in Southern California. It's probably about 40 degrees, and we were out on a football pitch, and the sun was super hot. There's about 100 of us out on the pitch. And I think it was so hot that pretty much was only in my pants and marching with euphonium around for the afternoon. And at one point we kind of got called to attention. We were about to start playing, and someone came down and just pretty much pulled down everything else that I was wearing. And I was just standing on the field surrounded by over 100 people and strangers kind of passing by as well. Just standing there holding a horn and nothing else. Not the most fun experience. I had to quickly put the horn down, pull up my pants, and bring the horn back up and keep performing at that point. So yeah, that's probably one of the more embarrassing moments I've had performing. In terms of filmmaking, that's taken me kind of all over as well. I've been to Hawaii, been to the Philippines, Uganda, throughout Europe as well. So not the entire globe by any means, but really grateful for where I have been able to go with music and with filmmaking. Maybe I'd just be a baker and make some cakes and make some bread. Who knows? No, not really. Okay, maybe a little bit, but not usually even that much. Definitely couldn't do it for the longest time, which didn't really help when I was learning Spanish in school and couldn't roll my R's. But yeah, there you go, maybe a little bit more than I thought. Great, so that's a bit about me. I'm really looking forward to seeing you on the filmmaking course. If you've not done so already, go ahead and go sign up for Fèis Online, which is available now at feisfashlik.com. Moran Peng and Cuir and Drasta.